The reason you're not experiencing your desires is because, number one, you keep saying that you don't have them. Number two is because you're probably holding on to it or to them so tightly, you don't even realize that you're doing it. When we think and we believe that our desires are separate from us, then we inadvertently we're holding on to them. We are gripping them so tightly that they are unable to move. They are unable to appear to you because you're pinholed in trying to control the situation. And because you guys, I've been here, okay? Even if you say, yes, I am source. I know I'm source. I know I'm source. I know it. Do you? Who is the one talking at that point? Is that the I am, or is that your character, your separate self, your ego? Same thing. Because the one who knows doesn't see their desires as separate from them. It doesn't see their desires as not being there. Okay? It really is this knowing that no matter what you see out here, it is an illusion. Everything is temporary. Everything is moving all the time. But when you're holding on to your desires, you're looking at them as static, as this set in stone, stuck thing that you can somehow control or manipulate by doing steps, by meditating, by getting into the state, by being someone different. But you are always source. We don't need to identify a source. We don't need to be getting into a state to be source. You just are. That is what you are. This is not a personality. This is not a character. When we can tell that it is us thinking from the character or from the separate self or finite mind, when we think that we have to be different, when we think that we have to change, when we think that we have to do something in order to get something, that is, again, another character, okay? And we have infinite versions of characters, infinite realities where those infinite characters are living, and we shift from moment to moment in each moment. There's no just one past version of you or past character that has followed you through this timeline. If we're going linear now, there is not ever that one person where everything has always been the same for all the time, because we're literally always changing automatically. And yeah, I started off this video by saying, the reason why. There's infinite reasons, okay? You guys, we create reasons. We like to try and figure it out. We like to try and control, okay? So that we can achieve something, so that we are moving up a level. We are getting to a new ascension. We are getting to that new mountaintop, right? That's how we've been living. That's all we've known. And so I totally understand. Believe me, I understand. There's so much information out there. There's so many coaches, and each coach is speaking from their own experience, their own lived and perceived experience. So sometimes it is when we come into this community and we've been here for a while and we're like, I'm just lost. I need to listen to this guru or this person who seems to have it all, and they must know, and I want my desire so badly, or desires so badly. I need to know what do I do? What are the steps? How do I fix this? How do I get those things? I don't want to live this life anymore. I don't want to experience these things. I just want different. And that is where we end up running into these roadblocks, or giving up. We just want to give up at some point. Have you been there? I know I had been there a bunch of times. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to fix. Nothing is broken. The reality, the personality, the character, the separate self that you are choosing to inhabit at the moment is already done, right? It has already been created. We're not creating anything new. So it's on its own path, okay? So there's, if we want to get technical, if we want to get visual here, okay, you have infinite in lines, okay? They're all lined up alongside each other, parallel realities, okay? And this character, infinitely, okay? Each has its own sets of beliefs, of experiences, of thoughts, of all objects, okay? When we have a desire, we choose, yes, I'm experiencing that right now. And then people call us Delulu. But that's not, well, you know what? Call us Delulu. It doesn't matter. It is actually not Delulu. It is how we manifest. It's how we've been manifesting. And yeah, okay, if someone were to say, yeah, but I don't think about breathing, I just know that I breathe. Like I don't think about blinking my eyes. Like I just blink my eyes. Yeah, exactly. You, the character, the personality, are not physically sitting there blinking your eyes. You're not knowing how to do that. You just do it. When someone calls your name, do you answer to it? Or do you answer to someone else's name because they looked in your direction and called you that name? No. Probably not, hopefully not. Okay? The only action that is necessary is deciding. The appearance of us doing things and taking action is so, because quantum physics and science, right? They'll have us believing that we're actually the ones doing all the things. And yeah, our human self is moving, but it's an illusion. It's not what we think it is. And the character, the personality, the separate self, I'm going to come up with a word to just maybe, I don't know, to just name it. And so then that's what we're going to use from now on, because I'm getting sick of kind of saying the same 3-4 things after it. So not source, okay, needs to see that. It needs that validation. It needs to know that it still exists. It needs to know that, okay, I'm safe if I see this thing before I can finally say, okay, yeah, that is mine. Okay, yeah. Well, logically, that can be true, because there's infinite realities. There's infinite possibilities. So yeah, of course. But we've been living in those versions most of our lives, right? And now we're in this new place that is unfamiliar and has, it seems to have all these promises and can solve all of our issues, we're probably really fucking tired, right? We're probably tired, and we're exhausted, and I get it. But going back to my former point is that there's nothing to fix. There's nothing to heal, because if we don't want to continue to experience those things that this human is experiencing, then we don't choose that anymore. It's not, but we don't need to be trying to fix that. That is linear thinking. That is thinking that what we're experiencing, what we have experienced, is solid, is unchanging, unmoving, is tied to events and circumstances and experiences of the past that will bring us forward into the future, both of which do not exist because we cannot point to them right now. Okay? They are an illusion. We are remembering things because that's how we've been doing it. That's it. That's all it is. It doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean that it's not true. All things exist now. All timelines exist now. They've been talking about this for a long time now. This is not a new age thing. Quantum physics is getting on board more so than other areas. But, whatever you say is right. Always. That's what you're going to see. Now, it might not be specifically, right? It might not be specifically to the point. That really depends on how you're looking at it, right? Through which lens? Through which lens are you seeing this? How are you perceiving it? You can experience something and perceive it one way in that moment. And then a few moments later, look at it a completely different way and change what you're experiencing in that moment and moving forward, right? Two people could experience or be at as an event, and they could both be experiencing it differently, right? Through their lens, through their perception. You're experiencing the same event, but through different perceptions. 8 billion worlds, one consciousness. Okay. You see something differently than the other. You could be having a grand old time. They might be having the worst time. The same event. We're so holding on to these experiences because they seem so real, because we feel them viscerally throughout our body, and then our mind is like, yes, that's what it is. That is my truth. The only truth, really, I'm gonna get, is that you are source. You are God. I'm not saying that you are a God, okay? Although you could be. You can be anything you want. That's not what this is. You are in this human body, embodying the body with pure conscious awareness within you. All up in there. Okay? Body is a vessel. And don't get me wrong, we are not trying to have some sort of ego death. I mean, I know that there's people out there that say that. Oh yes, we have to kill the ego. We have to get rid of that ego, kill it off, because it's just it's holding on to all this karma and all the things. And, you know, believe what you want, okay? But I'm here to tell you that if that does not resonate with you, that you don't have to go with that, okay? The ego, to me, is necessary. It is a part of our human condition, okay? We can get the ego to be on our side if we wanted to. I think the most important thing is recognizing when we are perceiving through the eyes of the ego and when we're perceiving through the eyes of source. It's a very slight, subtle distinction, but the more that you continue to remind yourself, remember what you are, the more automatic it comes, and you don't have to be doing your techniques over and over again. You don't have to exhaust yourself. You are allowed to fall out, right? You are allowed to forget. And that is okay, because we're going to do it, because it's part of the human condition. It's the remembering that we're going to come back to. Remembering that we just forgot. So for now, I'm going to be doing probably a bunch of these videos on YouTube in my car, because that's what I have for now. All right. Eventually I'll move on and do some different things. But for now, it's going to be in the car. This is what you get. Okay. Let me know if there's a topic that you want to talk about, that you want me to go into depth on, because that can be helpful sometimes. And maybe sometimes you just need a reminder. Maybe you're sick of consuming a ton of content, or sick of not seeing your manifestations, or, you know, this is not going to be a manifestation channel. This is how to recognize yourself as the I am, as source, because that's what you are.